within them. When they do just drop, they drop such copious amounts of rain. Pensacola, Florida as well. If you're out there, maybe spring breaking late perhaps. Tomorrow, Wednesday, thunderstorms. Thursday and Friday, some morning showers. And then finally, the storm moves east of you. But Pensacola, wherever you happen to be, from Montgomery south to Pensacola, west to Jackson, or northeast to Birmingham, Alabama, still the story remains the same. All right, when we come back, more live severe coverage right after the break. You know, the rain coming down in buckets in South Arkansas today. Video today from El Dorado. Lightning started a fire at a church that burned to the ground. Just incredible pictures here. The Mural Heights Baptist Church on fire. Fire crews say it was the thunderstorms.
A frost advisory is in effect. Currently in our area, 56 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 39, winds east-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday, mainly sunny, high 68, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday night, clear to partly cloudy, low 44. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Flea bites can mean misery for your cat. Advantage 2 Monthly Topical kills fleas through contact. Fleas do not have to bite your cat to die. Advantage 2. Fight the misery of biting fleas.
At the Joseph A. Bank Super Tuesday sale, executive and Joseph suits are just $179. Plus, buy one on sale, get one free on all other suits and sport coats. And buy one, get one free on even more throughout the store. Only at Joseph A. Bank this Tuesday, Preview Day Monday.
Don't let a cracked windshield ruin your plans. Trust SafeLight. With SafeLight's exclusive On My Way text, you'll know exactly when we'll be there, giving you more time for what matters most.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
My mom loves giving me advice. She even gives me advice about my toothpaste and mouthwash. But she's a dentist, so I kind of have to listen. She said, Jen, go pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Advanced to healthier gums and stronger teeth from day one.
Using Crest toothpaste and mouthwash makes my whole mouth feel awesome. And my teeth are stronger, too.
Crest Pro Health Advanced is superior to Colgate Total in these 5 areas dentists check.
This checkup, so good.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health Advanced.
Mom's right. Again.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happened to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you for under $1 a day. SelectQuote found Alec, 38, a $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. SelectQuote found Kenesha, 39, a $350,000 policy for under $14 a month. SelectQuote's secret? They impartially shop a select group of highly rated companies like these for your best rates. Give your family the security it needs at a price you can afford.
Since 1985, SelectQuote has saved over 1 million families millions of dollars on life insurance. Call now or go to SelectQuote.com. Discover what over 1 million families know. We shop, you save.
1-800-352-8300.
All right, well, welcome back. Listen to that. Can you hear it? Bowie, Texas. Large hail. Look at the damage there. I mean, look at the damage of that Subaru. Just getting knocked in. That's Chevy. Chevy truck in the back. Yeah, Chevy. Wow. Unbelievable. You know, we've had hail the size of grapefruits, which is 4 inches in diameter. You almost see the indentation there. Do you see that in Bowie, Texas? See that, Sarah? Wow. There you go. What's she going to, she's like, oh my God, what has happened here?
I think there are going to be some windshields replaced.
Windshield, Geico or what?
Right, with the Safe Flight Repair replaced.
Safe Flight Repair is going to certainly be on that, or replace. I think that's not repair. I think that's replace. Yeah, we're staying on the air now just to keep you updated on all these storms. Large hail, smashing trucks in Wise County, Texas. 2.75, 2 3/4 inches. That's baseball-sized hail. Unbelievable. 4 inches, grapefruit, we've seen that. Also in Atoka County, Oklahoma, 2 3/4 inch size, baseball-sized hail. Can you imagine the noise, how loud that must be, and how loud that really was? All right, so where can we see the watches? Let me show you. Now, severe thunderstorm watches, meaning atmospherically we are ripe for these storms to continue. And, you know, what's happening is the storms that brought those in Bowie, Texas and Wiley, Texas, which is all just by Dallas to the west of that, that's happened already. And now we're kind of going forward in time, and those storms are training right along this I-20 corridor, and that's where they are. So severe thunderstorm watches for you, Shreveport to Jackson, and right around Tyler, Texas as well. Look at that big storm in Tyler, Texas, coming to you in Longview. So on I-20, Smith County, including the cities of Arp and Tyler and White House until 8:45. Severe thunderstorm warnings for you. You can only imagine how loud it must be. In Bossier, in Caddo County as well. Severe thunderstorm warnings in Caddo. And you can see the parishes there, the parishes of Bossier and Caddo, right there in Harrison and Marion, the cities of Red Chute and Shreveport and Bossier City until 8:30. Severe thunderstorm warnings posted, and that is all pushing eastward. So let's talk right now to our own storm tracker, Kelly Williamson. He is east of Shreveport, Louisiana. Kelly, tell us about where you are right there in Shreveport. What's happening where you are, and what have you seen thus far?
There is very much street flooding here in Shreveport. You know, if you're on the highways there, you really got to watch it. We come down the interstate, and we hit a lot of water. You know, it's just standing on the roads right now. I'm actually seeing some reports now of some roads underwater just a little bit.
So, Kelly, other people are on the roads. Do you see a lot of people on the roads? And if so, are they moving over to try to get out of that water?
Yeah, most of them are, and really the roads are a lot more empty. A lot of people's kind of staying home and hopefully watching the Weather Channel to see what's going on, because right behind this, there looks like there's another line of storms coming. So I'd say there's a pretty good chance of some flooding in this area.
You know, Kelly, we're looking at accumulation totals thus far in a 1 hour rainfall, 1.5 inches of rain just where you are east of Shreveport. So, I mean, we have seen so much rain with this. What do you think will be the calling card of this? Certainly less tornadic, and we've certainly seen some major hail, grapefruit size, 4-inch hail, but also this incredible amount of rain and water on the ground. Is that what you think?
Yes, it's got to be just awful. In fact, I just now passed the road here where a few weeks ago I was filming the National Guard doing water rescues and that here. Actually, that's right where I'm at right now, and it looks like they're getting, you know, hit real hard again right in this same area.
All right. Oh, Kelly Williamson, our own storm tracker in Shreveport now. 1.5 inches of rain in 1 hour. Kelly, thank you very much. We will certainly keep tracking with you. And, you know, Kelly talked about a few weeks ago the National Guard out in that same area because of the incredible amount of rain. So here's the 3-hour rainfall. Again, in an hour, they had 1.5 inches of rain. Accumulation east of that in 3 hours, 3.4 inches. And, you know, the storm is still to the west, so there's still more rain to come. And also, we've got days and days with a threat really staying here. We're back with more on our own expert, Carl Parker, coming up after the break.
That's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April and shot down in May. I know I'm gonna change that.
That's
You diet, you exercise. And if you still need help lowering your blood sugar, this is Jardiance. Along with diet and exercise, Jardiance works around the clock to lower blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes. This can help you lower blood sugar and A1C. And although it's not for weight loss, Jardiance could help with both. Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration. This may cause you to feel dizzy, faint, or lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that can be life-threatening. Symptoms include nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, and trouble breathing. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis or an allergic reaction. Symptoms of an allergic reaction include rash, swelling, and difficulty breathing or swallowing. Do not take Jardiance if you are on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Other side effects are genital yeast infections, kidney problems, increased bad cholesterol, and urinary tract infections, which may be serious. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions. So talk to your doctor, and for more information, visit Jardiance.com.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to a rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira, helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira, helping me reach for more. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for more than 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
The itsy-bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and clogged the gutter system, creating a leak in the roof. Luckily, the spider recently had Geico help him with homeowner's insurance. Water completely destroyed his Swedish foam mattress. He got full replacement and now owns the Sleep Number bed. His Sleep Number setting is 25. Call Geico and see how much you could save on homeowner's insurance.
Don't let a cracked windshield ruin your plans. Trust Safelite. With Safelite's exclusive On My Way text, you'll know exactly when we'll be there, giving you more time for what matters most.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Hail and rain slamming Arkansas. This is El Dorado, Arkansas. A deck showing you the rain and the hail coming down. In Arkansas, in places like Garland and Miller County, the potential for even a small tornado earlier today. Also in areas of Louisiana and Arkansas and Texas. Baseball-sized hail, 2.75 inches, even as high as 4 inches in portions of Texas. So El Dorado, Arkansas, certainly similar to what we've seen as these storms have pushed eastward. Hi, everyone, and good evening for you. We are certainly keeping you on the air tonight to give you a report of the storms that we've seen throughout the evening and what's coming up as we head through the overnight and for tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Steele here with our own storm tracker Carl Parker and also Sarah Dillingham tonight. Let me show you right now where the watches are and where the most concern is as of this moment. Severe thunderstorm watches from Tyler, Texas, east on 20 through Shreveport and Monroe and Jackson, south to Lufkin and Alexandria and into Hattiesburg as well. So Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, you can see those storms just training over one another as these storms were farther east in places like Dallas, Texas, and really did some major damage in Wiley, Texas there. And now all these storms are pushing eastward. So with the very latest on where that severe threat is, we head over to Carl Parker now. Carl?
Alex, we are really seeing a transition right now from a severe weather threat to more of a flash flood threat that's going to be ongoing through the evening. Already many places seeing several inches of rain, and that rain continues to build across the same spots where we've seen so much already. I'll show you that here in just a moment. So here's the larger picture, and you notice there are still some severe thunderstorm warnings right in there just east of that area of low pressure, but a whole string of flash flood warnings, Louisiana and into Mississippi. We'll deal with the severe warnings things first. And these storms were just incredible hail producers earlier today. Wiley picking up 4.3-inch hail. That is softball-size hail that requires a 100-mile-per-hour updraft, a 100-mile-per-hour vertical motion to sustain that kind of hail. It's incredibly large hail. Also, baseball-size hail reported in Betty. And those storms are now just east of Tyler. The latest warning now in effect for Gregg, Harrison, and Rusk counties. This is moving east at about 45 miles per hour. Multiple threats here, including 60-mile-per-hour wind, as well as 1-inch hail. And there's a closer look at the storm. So you see it's just about on top of Overton right now, as well as Turnertown. That's going to be where some of the strongest wind is. And in fact, I want to take a look at the velocity data here. And you notice this big surge of wind that's coming forward right in there, indicated by that brighter green shading. That's now getting ready to come into Overton and Turnertown. Also inflow right in there. So right along that interface between the outflow and the inflow, that's an area that we like to watch for possible circulations. We're not really seeing that at this time. We did see a little bit of a hook for a short time there, but now it looks like more of a damaging wind threat, along with, again, 1-inch hail. And on top of that, a lot of lightning here. It's an incredible amount of lightning for such a small area. Talking about nearly 200 strikes in the last 15 minutes, right in the core of that storm. So multiple threats as the storm moves in and towards that 259 corridor. Now, well to the east of that, there you see the flash flood warnings that are in effect all along I-20. And I want you to notice how much rain we've seen already. These are the very areas that were hit so hard a good 3 weeks ago, talking about northern Louisiana. And in that area right there, just north of I-20 and along I-20, that's where we've seen 5-6 inches of rain already. But what I really want you to pay attention to is what's happening on the radar. You see this thin little line right there? So that's the cold pool. That's the leading edge of that cool air that's put out by thunderstorms, and the thunderstorms are firing along that boundary. That is sagging south, but even as that is sagging south and it extends back up in here, even as that is happening, we're watching moisture overriding that and moving into the same areas. So you're getting repeated lift just over that cool air at the surface, and where we're getting repeated lift, we are seeing showers and storms back building, continuing to build right over that boundary, and you can actually see that happening right in here. And this is why this is so disconcerting. Even as the showers are moving away, we're seeing more building off to their west because of that boundary that's already in place. So what we've got now is an additional perhaps 3 inches of rain on the way. East Carroll, Madison, Richland parishes, Issaquena and Warren counties as well. That's going until 9:45. Jackson, Mississippi under warning, flash flood warning. Hines, Madison and Rankin counties until 9 o'clock. And then also here you're talking about Jasper, Jones and Smith counties. So easily another 3 inches of rain in areas where we've had 3 to 4 inches of rain. This is going to be an ongoing and very serious threat. And we may see a little flare up right in here too, where this has been driving southward. Could possibly be some stronger winds. So there's the area of concern for severe weather tonight. We're going to see less of that going through the next few hours. And again, it's going to be morphing more into a flash flood threat. That, I think, is going to be the really big worry, Alexandra, going through the night tonight. Back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. All right, let's show you some incredible video now. We'll show you the storm damage in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, which is in Jefferson County. And look at the tree down on this house. There's a potential for a small tornado potentially may have done this damage. Now, again, severe storms all the way from Arkansas on eastward. And we've seen it and we will continue to see it as these storms move eastward. Although, as Carl was saying, we're kind of going through a metamorphosis now. Less the severe note and more of this just flooding note with flash flood warnings posted well along this whole I-20 corridor. So to Pine Bluff we go, and you can see how scary that is with that tree down. We've seen incredible winds and also hail, 4 inches in hail. Even Carl talking now about 4.3 softball-sized hail. And what's so notable of that, as Carl was saying, to get 4.3-inch hail, 100-mile-per-hour vertical motion going straight up. And Carl will talk more about that. Just the ferocity of that's really unbelievable. So will we see the same tomorrow? Well, a lot of the same similar severe ingredients are there. Here's the cold front we've been watching today. It has now dropped farther south and will for tomorrow. Area of low pressure, all the moisture's there. So certainly there are a lot of the ingredients, although Dr. Greg Forbes saying that the severe component in terms of the tornadic threat certainly may be a lot less tomorrow. There's a chance of a tornado tomorrow. Unlike the torcons, meaning the tornado conditions index today, that was at 3 and 4, meaning 40% chance of a tornado within a certain area. So on the upside, that is good news. But the flooding concern really will be incredible. We've talked even to our storm trackers that have been out there and the chasers out there saying that this is the similar area in places like Shreveport where they had 1.5 inches of rain an hour. Same places where the National Guard was out only days ago in the same area with this inundation of rain. So we're going to continue to see it. So there we go. Potential impacts for tomorrow. Very strong winds, some hail, as well as the chance of a tornado. And here's where. South Texas again, but you'll notice we're still farther west again. So we've kind of re-racked the atmosphere westward, and we're going to see it all now. Move back to Texas, but farther south, more along the I-10 corridor, less the I-20 where it's been today. So spotty hail you can see New Orleans, Mobile, Tallahassee, south of Macon towards Savannah, Georgia, south of Columbia, the Carolinas as well. So future radar for tonight, 9:30, here's where it is, still along that I-20 again, and Carl will talk more about the severe threat and what exactly it is tonight and through the overnight hours, because nighttime tornadoes certainly the scariest of all. As we head toward tomorrow morning, you'll notice this along I-10, New Orleans and eastward. That's where we get into it. So if you're watching us perhaps maybe along the Florida Panhandle, you're down there for spring break, or you live there tomorrow, was certainly a rough go, surely wet. And then as we head toward 10 o'clock tomorrow night, kind of scattered in nature, but then watch what happens. The atmosphere once again re-racks itself, and look at what happens here in South Texas. Now this is Wednesday morning, and then we're going to watch this as we move forward in time and right along the coast, kind of skimming the I-10 corridor once again as we head toward Wednesday night, mind you. So as we hadn't seen enough rain as of yet, right? Here we go. More tonight, tomorrow through Wednesday. Total rainfall forecast, this is just through tomorrow. 3 to 5 inches you can see isolated, and of course we'll see that. Mobile, Alabama, more storms through today and tonight. All right, take a look right now at the hail and the heavy rain falling in Denton, Texas. This was this afternoon, the north side of Denton, golf ball size hail. Other places a little bit smaller, pea size. We've seen much bigger than that, and we'll show you where coming up.
Enjoy a barbecue ribs and chicken meal from Boston Market. Tender St. Louis-style ribs with our signature rotisserie chicken, served with 2 delicious sides and fresh baked cornbread. Take home a real meal today. Boston Market, all good.
For a limited time, get a half chicken meal just $8.49 at Boston Market. All good.
4x4 by land, 4x4 by sea, 4x4 by air, 'cause the lot to fly free. The former country, how it all started out. For the brave and every Boy Scout. For doing it yourself 'cause you want it done right. 4x4 top down stars keep you up at night. 4x4 everyone was 75 years. 4x4 the way, that's how we say cheers. That's how we live. 4 by forever.
What average work pants move like? What Duluth Flex Fire Hose work pants move like? Duluth Flex Fire Hose work pants. Stick it to stiff. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Termites like to use stealth. They live underground and build mud tubes, little tunnels made of chewed wood, mud, and I say this delicately, their poop. To sneak into your home. But I know all about their covert operations. Using my flow meter, I apply the proper amount your home needs to help keep them from breaking and entering. To catch a pest, you have to think like a pest. Not just for any home. For your home. Orkin, pest control down to a science.
You can't always protect her. Make sure her tires will. The Michelin Premier Tire with Evergrip technology. Even when half worn, it's still safe. Safe when new, safe when worn.
Seresto makes it easy to help protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. With the performance you expect from a monthly topical in a non-greasy collar, Seresto kills and repels fleas and ticks for 8 continuous months. Seresto from Bayer.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls, and you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for better car replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here in my lower back. But now I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My lower back pain. Find a machine at drscholls.com.
My son and I used to watch the red carpet shows on TV. Now I'm walking them. Life is unpredictable. Being flake-free isn't, because I have used Head & Shoulders for 20 years. Used regularly, it removes up to 100% of flakes, keeping you protected. Live flake-free for life.
I recommend Nature Made fish oil because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a product verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended fish oil brand.
I'm terrible at golf.
He is.
People say I'm getting better.
No one's ever said that.
But I'd like to keep being terrible at golf for as long as I can.
You know, he's just happier when he's playing. But he's terrible.
For the strength and energy to keep doing what you love, try new Insurin Live. Only patented Insurin Live has HMB, plus 20 grams of protein to help rebuild muscle. And its clinically proven formula helps you stay you.
Oh, nice shot.
New Insurin Live. Always be you.
Weekend recharge is...
It's just a thing. I don't know.
Weekend recharge, great place to learn something about the weather and to have a couple of laughs.
We got a cold stretch. Hey!
We forgot to pay the bill.
Whoops!
That just got weird. Sort of the Weather Channel's way of dialing it back.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, it was a rough afternoon in Buffalo Spring, Texas. Look at this. Thanks so much for certainly the picture. Look at that baseball-sized hail coming from Buffalo Spring, Texas. And also, it wasn't just Texas. It was also Arkansas and Oklahoma. Look at this massive hail from Bowie, Texas. A baseball and even bigger, breaking the windows of cars and trucks, comparing it to the Rotel there. Here's the Bowie picture. You can see the trees and also the backs of these cars. You can see the Chevy. Look at that. The whole back window broken from the weight of this incredible sized hail that we've seen. So large hail smashing cars and trucks. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. We are staying on the air to keep you updated on these storms tonight. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Steele here with our own storm specialist Carl Parker and our expert Sarah Dillingham as well. So if you're asking, how does hail that size form? Is it pea size? Is it grapefruit size? Is it teacup, which we have? Well, it's all about the atmosphere and the uplift. So let's talk about it now with Carl and Sarah as well, you guys. And so we'll talk about how this hail forms, how it gets so big, and the type of updraft we need, Carl. So take it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the strength of the updraft. That's really the key, and that's all about how much instability you have. And in the case of today, we were talking about incredible instability. I think, Sarah, we were looking at 3,500 CAPE at one point.
Yeah, I was just looking at that from today. So yeah, we had 3,000 to 3,500 joules of CAPE, and that's on the high end. Okay, like 1,000 is where we say low to mid-grade CAPE, but yeah, we had plenty of it today.
Yeah, and you know, CAPE is really a reflection of how tall the storm can get, and that's a reflection of how powerful the updraft is going to be. So your updraft can get stronger than 100 miles per hour. We're talking about a vertical motion here of 100 miles per hour. That's why when you're on a commercial airliner, they avoid those storms like the plague, because you don't want to get caught in that kind of an updraft. But the stronger the updraft, the more it can keep that hail sustained. So this is how it happens. Raindrops, of course, form in this updraft, but then once you get to what's called the freezing level, that rain begins to freeze. And when you've got a lot of cold air aloft, that can also give you more hail. And as the updraft continues to carry this hail up into the sky, it begins to accrete more of that ice and grows even larger depending on just how long it's suspended. And the stronger the updraft, the more it's going to be suspended, and that's going to make for a larger hailstorm. hailstone. So there's a really well-defined relationship between the strength of the updraft and how strong, how large that hail can get. And eventually it's going to come down and fall to the ground. But let's take a look at some of the sizes and the relationship to the updraft, and it's pretty amazing. So first of all, you're looking at pea-size hail. I just saw that the other night at my house in Atlanta. Pea-size hail takes a 35-mile-per-hour updraft for that. Quarter-size hail, pretty common, 50-mile-per-hour updraft. Then you need 65 for golf ball, 80 for baseball, 85 for teacup, and look at that, a 100-mile-per-hour updraft is what is required for softball-size hail. That is remarkable when you think about it.
All right, Carl, so showing you the Rotel here from Buffalo Springs, where would that go on your list?
So that looks like, that might be baseball, maybe tennis ball, somewhere in there, 2.5 inch. I think the smaller stones are closer to golf ball, but I think that large one is closer to tennis ball size hail. So yeah, you're talking about anywhere from a 60 to 70 to 80 mile-per-hour updraft to support that. So incredibly powerful uplift in those storms.
We even had grapefruit size hail reported earlier today. That's 4 inches in diameter, so that's bigger than even what you're seeing there.
Yeah, that's bigger. That was in Wise County, Texas. Grapefruit, 4 inches. So what's the updraft on that, 150?
Well, no, for a 4-inch hail, it's going to be a little over 100 miles per hour.
Right.
But with the largest that we've ever seen, which was 7 inches in diameter, that would require 150 mile-per-hour updraft. So you're talking about incredible vertical motion.
Yeah, and also when supercells are the best, they're the most prolific hail producers because of the dynamics within the storms. There's actually a low pressure that develops inside the storm that can actually increase those updraft speeds, so you can loft large hail up into those clouds and they kind of move laterally throughout the cloud as opposed to just up and down. But they're just accreting ice the whole time, getting bigger before they fall.
And the other thing about the supercell is that because the updraft is leaning over, you're getting precipitation falling outside of it, and it allows the whole thing to sustain itself and last for a much longer period of time. And you can have an updraft that lasts for a very, very long time, getting much stronger and much larger, and it's able to really suspend that hail. So just amazing hail, and it was all a product of this CAPE. This is what we call a convective available potential energy, CAPE, and that's a direct measure of the instability. And when you've got very high CAPE, that is going to lead to very tall clouds if you can get them to develop. But it's also possible to have very high CAPE and not have any storms at all. We call that severe clear, and that happens plenty of times in Texas in particular, where you have what's called a capped atmosphere where you just can't get anything to go.
All right, so this isn't severe clear. This is Oklahoma. So talk about what size hail would this be that we see falling? What's your guess, Carl?
It looks like quarter, I would say, maybe somewhere around the 1-inch range, it looks like to me.
Yeah, maybe a couple large ones. What, $half? That's like 1.5 inches. But you know, inch is the base criteria hail size for severe thunderstorm warning. But we know that you can have a lot of pea-size and nickel-size hail that isn't severe criteria, so to speak, but can still do damage when there's a lot of it.
And do a lot of damage, put a lot of little ruts in your car. And you know, it's the noisiest thing ever. I've been in a 1-inch hailstorm.
Oh my gosh.
And it's incredibly loud. It's just unbelievably noisy.
Here, listen to this, Carl, from Denton County.
Yeah, that's a little bit smaller there. That looks like more like it's going to be in the order of maybe pea to dime size hail.
Isn't that roared?
Yeah, it's really something. I have also, by the way, seen accumulating hail. I saw that in Mississippi one time, and it was just amazing. I mean, it actually had been blown up into drifts by the wind from the thunderstorm. So it was in little piles against the wall.
Like snow.
Like snow, exactly like snow. And oftentimes you'll also see a little bit of fog that develops over top of that later.
Now, I have seen that in Nebraska. You know, we're deploying instruments in thunderstorms, and then we come back to pick up the instruments, and the ground is covered in hail. You'd think it snowed in Nebraska, and there was all this fog. The deployment pickup was 40 degrees, and it was at least probably 60 to 70 beforehand.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Incredible.
There was an incredible hailstorm. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in Orlando many years ago, and I think it was a good 1 to 2 feet of hail drifts in Orlando, of all places. Cost millions and millions of dollars.
Of damage. Well, we've seen such damage with the back of course, the glass on all the back of these cars just totally come apart. So let's show you some of these storm reports as well. Carl just talking about the hail there pelting, but here's a look at what we've seen so far. Hail in Ponder, hail size 2.5 inches, but 4 miles north of Ponder, baseball-sized hail, and that whole line, all those blues delineating there from west to east, really kind of moving right north and south of the I-20. All hail reports. In Quinlan, 1.8. We're back right after the break with where we could see hail like that tonight or not tomorrow as well.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob. You're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio opens up airways to help improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you. See if you're eligible for 12 months free at mybrio.com.
To you, they're more than just a pet. So protect them with Canine Advantix 2. It kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. Canine Advantix 2 for the love of dog.
If I want to go up,
Hello.
if I want to go down, but then if I want to come back again, it's perfect.
My favorite part is to be able to lift your legs up a little bit, and it feels like I'm just cradled.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
Don't let a cracked windshield ruin your plans. Trust SafeLight. With SafeLight's exclusive On My Way text, you'll know exactly when we'll be there, giving you more time for what matters most.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
We hired an award-winning actor to show off the award-winning range of Strongbow hard cider. But she canceled, so we got this guy.
This guy? I'll have you know I have won 37 individual awards.
Yeah, but for acting.
Yeah,
Strongbow.
I could get used to this.
Now you can with the luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
Okay, let's say you have a tea time this afternoon, and your car decides it's time for a flat tire. Hey, life doesn't know when you have a tea time. Fortunately, Golf Now has you covered. There's no cancellation fee, no matter what. All Golf Now tea times are worry-free. Book now at golfnow.com. Go play.
Mom, I'm here. Mom, where are you? Mom? Help! Mom? Oh my God, what happened?
Without emergency protection, you take chances with your life. But with Life Alert, when emergencies happen, one press of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert, what is your emergency?
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life from a potential catastrophe every 10 minutes.
If I didn't have Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-301-4591. That's 1-800-301-4591. Call now, 1-800-301-4591. For a free brochure, call 1-800-301-4591.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Take a look at these ominous skies over Frisco, Texas. You are looking underneath one of the severe storms that rolled across North Texas today, producing hail the size of grapefruits. It certainly has been a scary afternoon and evening. We are staying on the air to keep you updated. I'm meteorologist Alexandra Steele, along with storm specialist Carl Parker, and also our expert Sarah Dillingham, all here in the house, keeping you apprised of the severe weather as it continues to move through. All right, let's go over to Carl now for the very latest, who is tracking the storms. Carl. Carl.
Alex, what we are watching now is less of a severe weather threat and more of a flash flood threat that's going to continue right through the overnight hours in parts of the Mid-South in particular. So here's a look at what's going on broadly, and you've got this boundary that has dropped down across the I-20 corridor and a big long string of flash flood warnings associated with that. We are down now to one severe thunderstorm warning, but it certainly is a very healthy storm now east of Tyler, Texas, and right along I-20. That is Gregg and Harrison and Rusk counties under warning right now for strong wind and possibly 1-inch hail as well. Look at the structure of this storm. It's got what we call a little comma head right in there, and that's something that we need to watch for possible tornado development. You also see what's called a little inflow notch right in there, and so that's indicative of very strong wind. That backward C shape also indicative of very strong wind, and in fact, when we look at what's called the velocity data, we're seeing that now at several thousand feet off the ground, coming towards Route 259, 269, and getting over towards Henderson as well. That is actually 259, and just blasting eastward right now, moving east at about 45 miles per hour. So very strong wind is going to be the threat associated with this storm, in addition to quarter-size hail. And I can go ahead and actually track this out. We'll take a look at where that strongest of wind is, and we'll move this forward and see when it's going to be getting into some of these areas. So moving into Chapman about 7 minutes after the top of the hour, and into Durgin at about 10 minutes after the top of the hour. And there is some threat for a tornado as well because of that comma head that we talked about, but at least right now it is not rising to the level of a tornado warning. Now, looking at the flash flood warnings, again, a big string of flash flood warnings, a lot of heavy rain here. Last 6 hours, we're talking about 5, 6, 7 inches in some areas along I-20, the very areas that were hit so hard just a few weeks ago. And what's happening now is cool air has been driving these storms, and the boundary associated with that cool air is right in there. I don't know if you can see it, just dropping right down towards Hattiesburg. So that boundary has set up, and at the same time, you've got a moist flow that is overriding that boundary at the surface. So you're getting repeated lift in the same areas, and as a result, storms are back building here. Even as they're developing and moving away, they continue to build on the southwest side, which is why we're getting a lot more rain and why this flash flood threat is going to continue. So East Carroll, Madison, Richland parishes, Issaquah, Warren counties under warning. Jackson, Mississippi under warning right now for flash flooding. In addition to that, a lot of lightning now coming through. 300 strikes in the last 15 minutes, and then also a flash flood warning, Jasper, Jones, and Smith counties. So please be very careful tonight. Watch out in those areas that typically do flood, as we've got an awful lot of wet weather coming through the Mid-South over the next several hours here. Alex, back to you.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. Let's take you now through tonight on the future radar. I want to show you where you should be kind of mindful through the overnight and into tonight. Here's 9:30 Central Time, Jackson, Montgomery. It moves south of that tomorrow morning at 7:30, right along I-10 in Florida, and then in Georgia, and then in North Florida as well as we head toward tomorrow night. And then we re-rack the atmosphere again in South Texas. All right, well, the severe thunderstorm warnings are beginning to line down now, but here's tomorrow's threat. Of course, New Orleans, Mobile, and Tallahassee. That's where the chance for an isolated tornado, hail, and some very strong winds are. So keeping an eye on that. Again, we do have just 1 or 2 severe thunderstorm warnings at this point. Again, they are beginning to wind down, but we will certainly be here throughout the night to keep you updated if anything becomes severe. We return you now to programming.
This time on Highway Through Hell.
That's huge pressure to handle that wreck.
A head-on wreck.
That's something else.
Shuts the Trans-Canada and threatens the railway below. Ken Monkhouse faces an icy recovery.
There you go, go.
On a remote mountain road.
Stop! Stop!
And ice storm devastation. Strikes.
Look at that thing come down.
In Heavy Rescue's backyard.
Everybody get